Alright, so let me ask you something real quick. When you want a nasty, gnarly, fuzzy bass tone, what's the first thing you're reaching for? Maybe the Neural DSP Dark Glass plugin? Or perhaps a Big Muff or another fuzz pedal? One thing I bet you didn't think to reach for was an EQ plugin, but I happened to stumble onto some pretty cool bass tones with the new API style EQ from Kit Plugins, so I just thought I'd share it with you guys. So if you haven't seen anything about it yet, the Kit BB-A5 is a collaboration with Blackbird Studios and is an emulation of not one, not two, but three classic API EQs with a few extras built in, like high and low pass filters, not found on the actual hardware, and a preamp drive section. I was testing out the preamp section on a piano track I was working on to see whether or not it sounded better with a little extra color. I quickly found out that this knob has a lot of range and can go well past subtle saturation into full-on fuzz territory. It sounded insanely cool, almost turning the acoustic piano into some crazy synth sound. As cool as it was wildly inappropriate for the mellow acoustic pop track I was working on, but I was excited about the sound, so I opened up a different session to see how it might sound on a rock bass track. Once again, it was cool, so let's check it out. So first, here's the raw DI track with nothing on it. Sounds fine, not particularly exciting, just bass. But now let's bring up the preamp knob on the BB-A5. So that was kinda coolish, but as we increased the distortion, it kinda turned into a big mess. To fix that, we'll turn to the high pass filter. The filters seem to come before the preamp, so we can use them to shape the sound going into the distortion and clean up that low end. That's starting to sound a lot better. There's still a ton of low end in the sound, but our distortion is sounding a lot cleaner. Now let's use the EQ, which comes after the preamp, to further shape our sound. I'm going to switch over to the 55L EQ, so we have a fourth band to work with. First, let's pull out a bunch of that top end to smooth things out a bit. The speakers in a bass cab naturally roll off a lot of the top end, so this will kind of emulate that a little bit. That's already sounding a lot better. Now let's shape the low end. Even with that high pass filter before the preamp, the saturation itself has created a lot of super low subby stuff that we don't really need. Now that we've reduced the subs, I'll use the low mid band to bring in a little bit of 75 Hz to bring back some fullness. And finally, let's boost a little bit of mid-range to make this extra aggressive sounding. And a quick before and after of our EQ moves. And that's sounding pretty cool. From here, I'd probably blend this back in with the clean signal on another track to find a nice balance between gnarly fuzz and nice clean low end. Yeah, I'm digging that. Then we can compress and EQ those two tracks together. And that's a seriously cool bass sound. Is it gonna be right for everything? Absolutely not. But I'm definitely going to try this whenever I need a super nasty, gnarly, fuzzy bass tone. And besides just showing you this one particular bass sound, I hope this inspires you to mess around with your gear, push it to its limits, try to break it, use it for things it wasn't designed for, like using an EQ plugin as a bass fuzz. You might just find some inspiring new sounds that bring a track to a whole new level. If you want to pick up the Kit BB-A5 for yourself, there's a link to it in the description down below. And if you like this video, consider making your next gear purchase through my Sweetwater affiliate link, also in the description. It really helps the channel so I can keep making videos like this for you.